Schedule a Zoom with me at gcexperts.com/Zoom. Egg Sean Reitmeyer, GC Experts.
How you doing, Sean?
Fantastic. What's the current situation?
The current situation is we got two fantastic young men that are service-disabled veteran-owned partners, but their hearts are not into this whole thing right now because they're too busy with their families.
Okay.
We started this whole thing about 4 or 5 years ago, 2021. They were home. These guys worked with me before they went in the service. Okay. Mm-hmm. And 2021 time frame, about the time COVID hit, they were home for the holidays and came over to our barn to check out the baby calves and had their kids with us. We got chatting what they were doing, what they wanted to do, and they said, well, we'd really like to get back into doing construction. So we started working on putting this thing together. A year and a half later, we had it up and running. And
a year and a half later? What the hell?
Yeah.
I stand these things up in 2 weeks.
Nah, I get it. I have my own construction business, and Austin was working at it when he could. Him and his brother both worked, other jobs. So, so that's kind of where I'm at. They're not sure what they want to do, whether they want to try to, just sell out, if they want to.
Well, what do you want to do?
Well, I got a lot of time and effort, and to be quite honest with you, I got a lot of money. My personal construction business, my family-owned business that I've had for about 25 years, we do $1 to $3 million a year gross sales. Now, we're not huge, but we hold our own.
Sure.
So I guess that is what has led me to reach out to you guys and, kind of pick your brain, see, I guess get somebody else's opinion.
Well, my opinion is, I almost don't trust anybody. If I can't do it myself or if I can't teach somebody exactly what I want them to do, it's probably not worth doing. And that's not that I don't feel comfortable having subcontractors do work all over the place, but I've always, required 3 pictures in the morning, 3 pictures in the evening. I want a daily report at the end of the day. And I read that shit,
Yeah, no, I get it. And that's an awesome analogy and an awesome way to look at it. And I've spent some time and some effort myself on, on my business. Worked with some great business coaches. I don't know if you know of a gentleman named George Hadley.
I've heard of him. Yeah.
In Southern California. I worked with him and his group for 6 or 7 years consecutively until I had an office manager who told me, she goes, Greg, I really don't think you need to spend the money. And I wasn't spending a ton of money. I was, $1,500 or $2,000 a year to belong to this group. And we would get together once or twice a year at different locations around the country. So, I would spend another $4 or $5,000 to go be with this group. But she said, I think I can help you and, guide you in the right direction. Needless to say, she's not with me anymore. Because in her guiding me in the right direction, she was spending money left and right that I didn't authorize. And again, my wife says, it's because you put too much trust in certain people. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. So.
Yeah, that, I came to that conclusion early in my career. We did about $20 to $40 million a year with 6 people. Alexa, stop. And we were scalable that way. That's why I say 20 to 40 million, with just 6 people. And I can name them by name. It was Nora, and she did the bid management, got the plans and specs in front of my dad. My dad and I would sit down and bid jobs every day. We had Jan, the construction administrator, making sure all the paperwork got to and from everybody, and then a bookkeeper, and then we had a gopher. And his name was Matt. Good kid.
Yeah.
So, beyond that, the reason I asked, what do you want to do, wasn't really from the perspective of, your current situation. It's like,
well, yeah, and I guess to top it off, I'm 62 years old.
That's what I was about to ask you. I was like, because you sound like you're around my age, and I'm thinking, what do you want to do with the rest of your, we've only got so much time left, and what do you want to do?
Yeah, here's my thoughts. And again, maybe it goes back to me being not the best teacher in the world, and not teaching these guys the right steps and procedures along the way. Through my connections, I led them to multiple different projects that should have been profitable. But the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Sure.
I watched it come true, and I led these guys to the work.
Well, nobody puts the effort in when it's not their money on the line. That's my biggest problem with hiring people.
Yeah. So I guess that, again, it goes. I don't mind being the bad guy, but I guess that goes back to me being the bad guy. I should have done something different.
Well, holding people accountable. See, that's the thing about when you call a guy like me. That's why I say you only have to make two decisions in any conversation with me.
Yep.
The first decision is this guy full of shit or not? Because if you say I'm full of shit, no reason to go step two. But step two is personality. Because I don't know you, and I'll hold you accountable. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it's just, it was driven in me my entire life by my dad that he held me so accountable that I hold people I don't even know accountable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, I guess back to your question, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
I guess I would ultimately love to see something happen with this company that we've started. And
is it SAM registered?
Oh, yeah.
You got your cage code, you got your bonding line, you're fucking ready to go? Have you watched all my videos?
No, I have not.
Shit, dude, what are you doing at night?
Lately, I've been driving truck. I'm helping a friend of mine run one of his semis for the last, since January, because we had such a lousy winter up here. It's been brutal. We're between Buffalo and Rochester, so I'm in the heart of Western New York.
Okay, well, I'm recording this, and I'm gonna put it into one of my team members that's gonna create a summary and key takeaways. And really, I'm just saying this so that they get the point. That basically we're going to have a couple of step process here. Number one is we're going to get you the information for Scott Waring, the bonding guy. You get your guys contact with him and find out if you can get a bonding line. Step two, if you can't get the bonding line, we're going to teach you how to go through the tripartite escrow agreement thing. And then, well, actually, we don't even teach you that. That you're already approved for that. That's just option two. So really, step two is, can you get into my training? Like, can you find 28 hours to sit down and learn some shit?
Oh yeah, I will make that happen. And if I don't, I'll find somebody that can.
No, it's got to be you. I don't mess around. Look, I'm serious, man. If you want to work with me.
I would like to be able to do it myself, but I would also like one of these younger guys, if it's not.
I don't have a problem with you sharing your password with those guys, but man, I'm serious. You're 62 years old. If I'm going to take you on as a client, I'm going to, God damn it, I'm going to hold you accountable.
I was just going to say, there's going to be accountability. I'm all about it. So,
Yeah, right. I'm the guy that says, I'm not, let me clarify. I'm not the guy that says, oh, it's okay, you'll get the next one. I am not that guy. I'm the guy that says, you have to do this, 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 and this. And you have to do it,
You fucked up here, we're going to do it this way now.
I'm a very structured it's very structured, and the government's very structured. You know, when I was 25 years old, I was bitching about something to my dad, and he said, "Think about it. The government has a contracting officer. We have a project manager. The government has a COR, contracting officer's representative. We have a superintendent." You know, we mirror what the government has.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure I had a conversation with your dad probably 10, 15 years ago.
You probably did. He's been around a long time. I just had breakfast with him last week.
Yeah, I used to work I worked with them as a subcontractor. And she was a 8A contractor out of Buffalo, New York. The lady's name was Suzanne.
Oh, yeah, I remember Suzanne Wittenhauer. Yeah, sure. She retired.
She's retired, yeah. And you know how she retired?
A federal contract.
Right bunch of guys. And she did a Maytalk project. It was $25 million over 5 years. And her and the roofing contractor turned that into about $40 million worth of work over 5 years. And Suzanne realized she didn't really need to work anymore.
Yeah, they had a huge problem. I remember her, and she had a right-hand man, but I don't remember his name.
Rick Collins.
Yeah, what was his name?
Rick Collins.
Yeah, Rick Collins. At the end of the workshop, we have a video of this on our website somewhere, but at the end of the workshop, he said, "We have a problem." But he said it like, "We have a problem." He said it like whispered it.
Yeah.
And my dad goes, "You have a problem? We just spent 3 days talking about this stuff, and you're waiting till now when everybody's leaving to say you have a problem? What is your problem?" And let me remember, it was something about some timber that the government wasn't making a decision on the timber. I can't remember the exact details, but we got 3 cameras on my dad and Rick and Suzanne, and he walked him exactly how to solve that problem, and they went up there and it worked a treat, and that's why they were so memorable to me. Yeah, so, yeah.
Dan was a great woman. I haven't talked to her quite a few, but she,
Well, I never heard from her again. The next year, I think, is when she retired. She said, "We don't need the membership program anymore. I'm retiring." I went, congratulations. It might have been 2 years later, but.
Here's a rough idea on the time frame, because my daughter graduated from college in 2011, and because Suzanne was a WBE, she wanted to talk to my daughter. So we went up and met with her. And my daughter was just coming out of college. She wasn't 100% sure what she wanted to do. She ended up going a completely different direction other than construction. So, it is what it is. But she did sit down with my daughter. And my daughter remembers having a conversation with her.
Okay.
You still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're the one who's fading out, actually.
No, I think I had another call coming in. I just ignored it.
Oh, okay.
Our conversation. But anyways, that was about the time frame, 2011 or 12. But I did a bunch of projects for them, with them, on the VA hospitals and different government contracts.
Sure. Well, now it's time to be a prime, man.
Well, that's when I became I learned enough to become dangerous at what we do.
So anyway, I'll send you a text message after this call.
All right.
With Scott's information, and then we'll just take next steps.
Yeah, and I guess if Austin and JB, the 2 current SDVOSB partners, say, "No, we don't want to do anything with this anymore," then I got to figure out a different plan. They had mentioned, maybe selling Forwards Construction. Well, guys, there's really nothing of any value there to sell.
No,
Besides
there's
that,
not. All you got to do is get Sam registered and fire up a new one. It costs $300 or whatever. I mean, it's nothing.
I've got a service disabled veteran that works with me now that I kind of put the bug in his ear.
Look, there's no reason to be. Look, if you ask me a true-false question, is it better to be SDV owned? Well, the answer is true, but it ain't nothing like it was 30 years ago.
Right.
In today's world, everybody's SDVOSB. I mean, all these guys, there's more competition in SDVOSB than there is in the other 97% of the sandbox.
That's good to know. Yeah.
It really upsets me because there's these myths out there,
Because every commercial or every public works job you see now also has the MBE, the WB, and the SDVOB requirements on it.
Yeah, and so everybody's clamoring over themselves to get that, and then they're only paying attention on that because that's the less competition. That is complete horseshit.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. Now, if you'd asked me that question 30 years ago, hell, we were doing it. We were making partnerships with SDV, 8A, HubZone. Shit, yeah, it was a boondoggle 30 years ago because nobody knew what it was or how to apply it.
Yeah, and I, the other side of my business, a lot of what I've done over the years is I've worked for many, many different minorities and women business enterprises with my own guys because they didn't have the manpower to do it, and the big time GC
and they could get you into the job. No, I totally get it, but that's not how I operate today. I promise.
Good. Yep.
Anything else?
No, I think, like I said, wanted to have at least an initial conversation to kind of get your thoughts, and we can go from there.
Well, all you've done is piss me off because you're 62 years old and wasting time.
I get it. So now you know how my wife feels. And she still lets me come in the house at the end of the day.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, that it's frustrating for me because, I'm completely available. The decisions that my father and I have made in our life have put us in a place of total serenity and happiness. We don't have to worry about nothing,
Yeah.
But I still love the game. I love the conversations. I'll be thinking about this conversation for the rest of the day.
It's good thoughts.
And it's like if you have enough, it's like Suzanne Wittenauer. Perfect example. Okay?
Yeah.
She has to wake up today and decide what she's going to do today.
Yeah.
Okay? I have to wake up and decide what I'm going to do today. Because both of us, we can sit in the backyard by the pool and drink beer or margaritas or whatever for the rest of our life. But eventually, you get bored.
Yep.
GCExperts gives me the perfect outlet to not be bored. This is what excites me. Okay? So
Well, that's good because I kind of get excited about what I do too. So, that's why I do it. And I just need to be better at what I do. I can do the work in the field. I suck at the office side of things. So.
Well, then we'll solve that problem too because I can teach you the office side of things. I have done every single role associated with federal government construction. Everything. You are talking to a one-stop shop if you're talking about federal government construction. If you're talking about selling cake mix to the Navy, I can point you in the right direction. But
I mean, there's a job here in our hometown. I will look for that text message from you. I'll reach out to Austin and JB and poke them and figure out exactly what they want to do. And if they don't want to do it, then I need to move on without him.
Give me 20 minutes, but it's probably going to only take me 6.
All right, man. Sounds good. It was a good chat with you, Sean.
Yeah, good talking to you too.
All right.
All right, bye-bye.
We'll see.